NightChild reviews Prince, and we're looking at Prince's best B-sides. And today I've chosen a song way back from 1980 called Gotta Stop Messin' About. Now, Gotta Stop Messin' About was actually released as an A-side in the UK, but in America it was released as a B-side to the 12-inch version of Let's Work, a fantastic Prince song. Now this is a pure Dirty Mind era track, you know, from like I say, right back to 1980. This is the very first non-album track that Prince put out. So it's released like right at the beginning of his kind of B-side journey, you know, and this is amazing when you think of all the amazing B-sides and kind of non-album tracks Prince would have from now on. This is where it all began. Now this is a real rockabilly feel. This is rather like Horny Toad or Delirious. You know, Prince kind of is kind of sitting outside this girl's door who he really, you know, is attracted to, and he's just watching all these kind of men go in, and he's kind of torturing himself. You know, he sings about, you know, sitting outside your door, you know, about to break down. 4th time this week somebody's come around, and he's just watching all these men kind of go into this girl's house who he really, you know, really sexually, you know, is attracted to. And it's quite interesting how he kind of just, you know, he just pleads, he just says, you know, what goes on inside your head that makes you want to take them all to bed? Gotta stop messing about. And he's kind of, you know, desperately, he's torturing himself. He's just kind of, you know, his sexual frustration, he's just torturing himself. He's watching this girl, and she's just going off enjoying herself with other men, and he's just there sitting outside waiting for his chance, calling on the phone, but she's not really that interested. The sound is pure punk. It's kind of like a real Dirty Mind era. It really could have easily been from the Dirty Mind album. I think it could have fitted in this album, you know, perfectly fine. It may be slightly similar sounding to some of the tracks in there, but it could have definitely have worked. You've also got some nice flexing guitars, kind of just picking along. You've got a few little sound effects, but the real star, the kind of melody, is the synthesizer. There's this little kind of like line that comes through just in the chorus, and that really is the kind of line you take away from this song, Gotta Stop Messing About. And Prince wants to get her all alone to show her what he's learned. And in one of these kind of classic Prince lines that it'll often become kind of noticed for later and kind of really kind of be one of the Princeisms of the world. Prince just screams, he says, "All I want is a little time. I've been playing with my toys so much I'm gonna go blind." And he just kind of screams and lets it all out. As I said, some interesting thing going on. A few sound effects which are very much the sound effects used on the Dirty Mind album. There's these kind of sort of swirls and these kind of space agey effects. So it's clearly the sound he was going for at that time. It's also a song that I think, you know, really kind of got lost. It never got performed really after the Dirty Mind you know, tour. It just got kind of, you know, abandoned. It was a key part of his kind of, you know, B-side journey, is where it all began. This is also Prince singing in his falsetto again. This is Prince does this in, you know, the first 3 of his albums really, For You and Prince and Dirty Mind, and he's singing in his kind of high falsetto voice. Prince did remark at the time that he felt he couldn't get any life from his baritone voice, which is remarkable when you consider how much life he got from it afterwards. You know, it really did. But at the time, he only felt comfortable singing in his falsetto, high-pitched kind of voice, and it really gives it that punky feel. The song is also only 2 minutes 55 long. It's quite short and kind of direct and kind of you know, to the point, which is pretty much how the message of the song is. It's all about sexual frustration and about how much Prince wants his girl, and she's sort of not really interested in him, and she likes other men. And it's quite interesting how Prince kind of packs so much into these short songs, and it gives it this kind of short punky feel, which really works. It's also interesting to see the sound he has here, and then how it slightly morphs and changes to Controversy, and then to 1999 and on to Purple Rain. So here you have the kind of real kind of almost the biggest breakout and biggest risk Prince took with Dirty Mind, because after For You and Prince, he went in a totally different direction, a really sexually orientated direction. He got a lot of attention, and he kind of built on that attention and played about with that kind of erotic imagery, which really pushed his career on and on and on to the heights that he, you know, later attained. So this is a really interesting point, and also it's fascinating from a B-side perspective, because this is where it all began.